The expectation was that Sophie Cunningham would quietly become the veteran soul of the Indiana Fever's championship core, but the reality is a whirlwind of viral PR nightmares, multi-million-dollar contract disputes, and a locker room dynamic that is far more fragile than the highlight reels suggest. On January 19, 2026, a clip from Sophie's podcast, Show Me Something, exploded across social media, leaving fans and sponsors in a state of absolute shock. While the public was busy debating her startling health admission, the real industry drama was unfolding in the high-stakes boardrooms of the WNBA and the secretive new Project B League. This wasn't just a moment of podcasting honesty, it was the latest move in a calculated game of clout, money, and power. We have to ask the three questions that the league office in New York is desperately trying to suppress. Why did Sophie intentionally lean into a scandalous health claim just as her free agency hit a fever pitch? How did her proximity to Caitlin Clark turn a modest veteran contract into a $2 million bidding war? And what does the internal fallout between Sophie and her former Phoenix teammates reveal about the legal fractures dividing the WNBA today? Today, we are following the receipts and the legal filings to reveal the superior reality of Sophie Cunningham's career, a story of a player who mastered the art of the viral moment to force the industry's hand. To understand the current chaos, we have to look at the second most shocking factor first, the Caitlin Clark effect on Sophie's bank account and her unprecedented leverage. According to the financial breakdown from the Times of India on January 16, 2026, Sophie's brand value has skyrocketed, not because of her shooting percentage, but because of her strategic marketing alongside the league's biggest star. In 2025, she was playing on a one-year deal that many considered a prove-it contract. However, per the internal agency reports and social media engagement stats, her marketability increased by over 400% in a single season. She didn't just play alongside Clark, she positioned herself as her enforcer and primary media defender, earning a massive following in the process. This clout-heavy positioning led directly to a rumored $2 million offer from the new global venture, Project B. While the WNBA is currently struggling with a collective bargaining agreement in limbo, Sophie is reportedly being offered salaries that dwarf the league's supermax. This financial leverage is the real reason she feels comfortable being so polarizing on her podcast. She has reached a point where she no longer needs the traditional league's approval because she has already secured a massive secondary market. Now we get to the most shocking point of this entire saga. While the internet was melting down over her dropped from a 10 to a 2 comments regarding a cold sore, a far more serious legal situation was brewing behind the scenes in Phoenix. According to a bombshell lawsuit filed in May 2025 and reported by Sports Illustrated, Sophie was named in a legal complaint involving a former security director at the Phoenix Suns and Mercury. The suit alleged that high-ranking staff were spreading rumors of a salacious affair between Sophie and the team's married CEO. While the team slammed these claims as entirely false and morally reprehensible, and Sophie herself released a statement calling the allegations hurtful and untrue, the damage to her professional environment was significant. Per the leaked accounts of her transition to Indiana, this legal drama is what truly accelerated her exit from the Mercury. It wasn't just a simple trade, it was a relocation to escape a toxic legal battle that threatened to overshadow her career. This context changes everything about her current IDGAF attitude on her podcast. She is a player who has already survived the worst kind of industry character assassination, which makes a viral clip about a cold sore seem like child's play in comparison. The third point we must address is the political and personal schism that has followed Sophie into her tenure with the Fever. According to the analysis from High Post Hoops in late 2025, fans and insiders noticed a sharp divide in locker room chemistry during her injury-shortened season. While she is beloved by a segment of the Fever faithful for her enforcer persona, her proximity to the Caitlin Clark media circus has made her a lightning rod for criticism. Per the podcast transcripts from early 2026, Sophie has increasingly aligned herself with contrarian media figures and Bravo reality stars, further distancing herself from the WNBA's traditional establishment. This isn't just about social media follows, it's about a calculated business move to capture a specific demographic of fans who feel alienated by the league's mainstream marketing. By leaning into the MAGA Barbie labels and engaging in cheeky, sometimes controversial banter with Clark, she is building an independent brand that the WNBA office cannot easily control or censor. As we move into the fourth and fifth factors of this industry play, we see the failed recruitment of Caitlin Clark into the Project B venture. According to the Times of India report on January 23, 2026, Sophie admitted on her podcast that she tried to convince her superstar teammate to join the new high-paying league. Clark reportedly gave a firm no. This rejection is a massive blow to the Project B blueprint, which relies on pulling top-tier WNBA talent into a rival system. While the WNBA is currently struggling with a collective bargaining agreement in limbo, Sophie is reportedly being offered salaries that dwarf the league's supermax. This financial leverage is the real reason she feels comfortable being so polarizing on her podcast. She has reached a point where she no longer needs the traditional league's approval because she has already secured a massive secondary market. The sixth point, and perhaps most overlooked, is the social media flywheel that Sophie has perfected. Per a Sports Business Journal report from November 2025, Sophie's signing with Project B was described as a marquee move, not because of her stats, but because of her 1.6 million TikTok followers. The league's co-founder, Grady Burnett, explicitly stated that player storytelling and digital engagement are the primary drivers for their new venture. This confirms what many fans suspected. The viral scandals are not accidents. They are part of a digital strategy to maintain eyeballs and network flywheel, as Burnett put it. When Sophie gets close to her webcam to show off a red bump and says, "I have herpes," she knows exactly what she is doing. She is generating the shock value engagement that her new employers demand. However, this strategy is a double-edged sword. While it secures her a spot in a startup league, it reportedly caused several prestige WNBA sponsors to reconsider their long-term deals with her, citing brand safety concerns. Furthermore, we must look at the specific timeline of her free agency. The WNBA is currently in a state of chaos with an expiring collective bargaining agreement and a looming expansion draft. Per the Sports Illustrated report on January 16, 2026, the Fever have enough money to re-sign her, but they are also weighing the value of other veteran leaders like Kelsey Mitchell. Sophie's cuddle demand to Caitlin Clark on TikTok might look like a joke to fans, but in the world of professional sports, it's a reunion buzz tactic designed to force the Fever's hand. She is publicly signaling that the fans want her back, making it politically difficult for the front office to let her go, even if her podcasting drama is giving them headaches. This is a masterclass in using player empowerment to create a job security net that has nothing to do with her points per game. The impact of these moves on the broader WNBA cannot be overstated. By successfully navigating her way through a salacious legal scandal in Phoenix and turning a one-year prove-it deal into a multi-million-dollar bidding war, Sophie has provided a new blueprint for the mid-tier NBA veteran. She has proven that you don't need to be an MVP to have MVP-level leverage. If you can control the narrative and own the viral moment, the industry will eventually have to pay up. According to the latest reports from Front Office Sports, other veterans are now looking at Sophie's Show Me Something model as a way to build their own financial independence outside of the WNBA's strict salary caps. In summary, the Sophie Cunningham story isn't just about a viral clip or a podcast joke. It is a case study in how a savvy player can use the Caitlin Clark effect and a villain persona to become one of the highest-paid women in the history of the sport. We saw how she used a devastating legal rumor in Phoenix as a springboard to a fresh start in Indiana, and how she is now using viral health claims to keep her name at the top of the search results during a contract year. The insider takeaway is clear. In the modern basketball industry, your engagement score is often more valuable than your shooting percentage. Sophie has proven that if you can't be the undisputed best player on the court, you can certainly be the most indispensable person in the media cycle. As the WNBA enters this period of unprecedented growth and uncertainty, the Sophie Cunningham saga serves as a warning and a blueprint. It's no longer just about the game, it's about the facilities, the agency representation, and the ability to pivot when the traditional system fails to deliver. Whether you see her as a pioneer of the new athlete creator or a locker room disruptor, one thing is certain: Sophie Cunningham has fundamentally changed the way we look at NBA free agency. The days of players waiting quietly for a contract offer are over. The era of the viral leverage play has officially arrived. If you want to understand the deeper games being played behind the scenes of these massive contracts and the secret leagues that are trying to dismantle the NBA's monopoly, you need to know how the rest of the industry is reacting to this power shift. To get the full picture of how money, manipulation, and viral PR are rewriting the rules of professional sports, you have to see our breakdown of the other industry secrets that the mainstream media is too afraid to touch. We have uncovered the financial documents and the leaked memos that show how teams are actually planning for the 2026 season amid this chaos. Make sure to check out the Court Vision Rope Industry Secrets playlist as your essential next step to understanding how the game is really played. This is where we go beyond the viral clips to show you the real money moving under the surface. Don't be the last one to know how the industry is being restructured. Click into the playlist now and get ahead of the next scandal.